I'm Roy Sonne. Welcome to the School of Violin Artistry. In this video, we're going to study the Mazas Etude number 8. This is all about developing refinement and delicacy in your phrasing using bow technique. It's about playing softly with great expression. It's also about making that happen within the framework of a steady pulse. These two separate notes need our attention. We need to find the way to make them expressive in singing with a gentle, unaccented bow stroke and with vibrato. Don't choke off the tone like this. The bow floats above the string between the notes. And don't try to articulate the beginning of the note like this. The notes have a soft beginning like this. Ma, ma. Not pa, pa. I use half the bow for this first group, and then almost the whole bow for the second group. That gives the phrase its shape. Make a smooth, unobtrusive shift up to the C. You can do a classic shift with the first finger. Or you can do a fourth finger shift. Now, take a look at the little hairpins, starting with the one at the very beginning. That's very expressive. There's one of those in every phrase. It needs to be done subtly, lingering a little on the first note and giving it some extra vibrato and extra bow length. Now we have the hairpins in the next measure, up and down. There are so many of these. We can't overdo it. We need to find the way to make these nuances clearly heard, but not obtrusive. And they shouldn't all be the same. Find the one that you want to make the most of. Perhaps this one. And then the next one is less. Now the phrase repeats, more or less. It's more elaborate this time. Fit that sextuplet elegantly into the beat. And I like to make the shift more noticeable this time. Give it some juice. So the shift becomes a slide. How much slide should there be? That's where your taste comes in. And your skill in coordinating the timing of the slide and the bow pressure and the finger pressure. Again, you can only do that once. The next time it should be less. Measure 13, that's a beautiful downward slide. Practice that slide, make it something special. Now we come to the middle section. Let's step back a moment and take a look at the big picture. The first section is marked espressivo, expressive. The second section is marked dolce, sweetly. So there's a different mood and a different feeling. The first section was intense. Now it's more gentle and intimate. Also, the first section was in E minor. Now it's in E major. So the mood is happier. It's not jumping for joy. You might say it has a feeling of contentment, a sunny feeling. It's all legato, and you notice that in the first phrase there are no hairpins. That's nice contrast to what came before. Now in the second phrase, there are lots of hairpins. Now we've gone into the upper register, and again we have a couple of measures with no inflection. All these nuances are very well thought through and very musical. Now we have some two-note groups, all in one bow. Find the way to do this grouping subtly so it doesn't become choppy, and so that it becomes a special moment. Now it cries a bit. That's a nice portato moment. And now we're back at the beginning. So, we've worked out a lot of details. Now let's put it all into a framework with the metronome. I'm setting the metronome at 84. So, summing up, this is a wonderful etude for developing delicacy and subtlety in your musical expression and in your refined use of the bow and the vibrato. Also, it requires us to see the big picture so that we can give the music variety while making sense of the whole. Enjoy.